What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 12 of season 2 of Solo Leveling. We'll be talking full spoilers ahead, so hopefully you've watched this episode, and we'll do a real quick recap. The episode's very straightforward. Jinwoo has showed up on Jeju Island to help the S ranks who are under threat of the ants who are now attacking them. He sent in his shadow army, and they are defending them. He ends up having to figure out a way to get them out of there, considering Hunter Cha is in a bad way and she's likely going to die. So they need to get her off the island when he's getting ready to prepare to get through the ants and giving them a strategy on what they need to do in case they get past his defenses. The mega ant shows up and they square off, first with fists, and then the ant doesn't like how that's going, so he evolves into he has like blades on his fingers, and then with that, Jinwoo pulls out his weapons, which I was wondering when he was going to do, and they go at it there. And
he also tried poisoning him.
Oh yeah, he poisoned him. He was able to negate that with the passive that he has, and yeah, they go at it. We get a quick little thing of the Japanese team basically devising a plan on how to take advantage of the situation that's happening with the S ranks being in the situation that they are. What exactly was their plan?
So the guy initially was going to get the 3 surviving members out of there via helicopter, and then it sounded like they were going to like regroup and either come back to it and clean up, or at first I thought they were just kind of try to bomb the place.
That's what I thought too, that they were going to do.
It sounded like they wanted to put boots on the ground again. So I don't know.
Which is weird considering they've lost
7 of their 10 S ranks.
Yeah, really weird plan. But they're just trying to get something out of the situation that will benefit them. Jinwoo and the ant keep fighting. He ends up basically, and we'll talk about it more, but besting him after a huge display of animation of them just going the fuck at it. He ends up killing the ant, and then, which I was surprised to see in just one episode. In a very pathetic way, the ant's just trying to crawl away, and he ends up just murdering him. He goes back to... it was also worth mentioning earlier, he healed the whole S-rank team with his potions, but he wasn't able to use it on Hunter Cha, and so he sees that she's even worse off now towards the end of the episode, and he tries to use the, what's it called? Elixir of Life? The one he used on his mom.
Right.
That also didn't work, so that's not good.
Because it doesn't meet the right conditions.
Yep. So he's running out of options. They don't have time to get Hunter Cha anywhere that could possibly help. And so at the very end of the episode, he looks behind him real quick. And you had brought up some speculation that he might use or might... how would you say that?
Create a new summon using a recent corpse.
We got the healer.
Yeah.
So that's interesting thing. What do we think of this episode?
Well, I mean, if you wanted an action episode, this was definitely it. It was awesome. I liked it a lot. Yeah. It was really funny watching the beginning of it when he kind of showed up and everyone's just like bewildered because like they don't know he can teleport basically, even though it's not technically what he does.
Everybody everywhere got to learn a lot in this episode.
Yeah, and then he's also like still trying to like figure out what he's comfortable with showing off and what he's not, because he was getting ready to like start making an ant army, and then he was like, I don't know if I should do this with all these people watching me, basically. Mm-hmm. I also don't think he knows the camera's rolling on him. So
I don't think so either.
That'll be interesting, especially if my guess of him deciding to acquire that dude's friend as a summon, I think that's going to cause some drama. So
yeah,
I could be wrong, but the way he turned so quickly, because he had an idea, I was like, I would probably come to the same conclusion. So
yeah,
but anyways, once the black ant showed up, and they started having like this test of strength, which was kind of interesting because this ant's obviously like been hunting for what he's referring to as the king, because he's using his hierarchy structure, as if everyone uses the same.
He also wants someone who's super powerful because he's Cell and he consumes people to get more powerful.
Get stronger. Yeah. And so they're sitting there just having a slugfest, and then when he realizes that he's gonna lose, he tries to poison him, and I was like, that fucking cheap shot, dude. And then at that point he's like, all right, I'm gonna eat you now, basically. And then the fight actually starts, and the moment they started kind of changing at that point, you could like watch the animation change instantly. I was like, okay, episode's starting. And sure enough, a couple art styles and multiple animation techniques later, we had a very flashy fight. I got a little worried in the beginning of it because they started doing like some very, and I'm not saying this necessarily is negative, but it's a very old, the very like Dragon Ball Z thing where like people are like just disappearing and they're showing like lights and lines and stuff like that. But they did a good job of cutting in constantly and showing moments.
Yeah, I felt super intentional because I thought the same for a split second too. But two things with that is they were showing action sequences between these, and they weren't just reusing the same scenes.
Yeah, it wasn't copy paste frames. It was like actual moments being animated.
It was like different locations, them interacting with the locations to show them fighting,
and it made it way better.
Yeah, it was definitely the way. If you can do it, you should do it.
And it also did a good job of, because like obviously they did that. That's in Dragon Ball. I've seen it in Bleach. It's in a lot of animes where they do that to show speed, right? Yep. And the nice little addition, which was crazy animated for just a person trying to watch the fight. They zoom in on the beast guy's face, and his eyes are just tweaking.
Yeah, I liked that part.
And I was like, that is such a cool touch, because he's like trying to keep up with them.
It's because, for me, it was interesting because that is a really played out thing in anime where someone's moving too quickly and everybody just stands there and goes, oh,
I can't see it.
Yeah. But to see like a close up of his eye trying to track what's happening, but he's also like kind of freaking out because like he can't.
This whole thing's like unfathomable.
Yeah.
Right.
So it gave it it was a more enhanced version of a trope we know well that I thought was handled really well.
Yeah. And it adds to like the suspense and the action, because like he has such an intense look on his face, and you could tell he's just like this is all he can do right now is like try to watch this fight, and then just watching them, mostly watch the ant throw what it can at Jinwoo, as even the ant mentions, he's getting stronger during the fight, and because even his moves are like skills and stuff like that are like amping up in the fight. There's at one point we get these really hard to read fast blips of the UI pop up, and like I think the skill was called like mutilation. And it started at a level, and by the end of the fight it was at maxed
out.
And so like it kind of reminds me of like in the older Elder Scrolls games, for example, where like you use a skill over and over again and it starts leveling up, and it was like that was happening in a moment in this fight. So yeah, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. They also, and I assume it's in the manhwa, but the animators are doing a good job of capturing it as well. But the pause moments where we get to see like posing and then, or to use a younger term, aura farming, were done really well. They did a really good job of like showing like cool shots and moments in slow mo, and then go back to the fighting or stuff like that. So like, Jinwoo just got to look like a badass the whole time. Even the ant got to look like a badass, like constantly in that fight.
It's funny you bring that up because I saw a TikTok of some kid. I call him a kid. He might be in his like early 20s. I don't know. But he was talking about, he's like, man, everybody talking about how Jinwoo is like the ultimate aura farmer. But back in the older days in anime, we had a character called, and I forgot his name, but from Sword Art Online. And then he's like, that was the original aura farmer back in like the older days of anime. And I'm like,
older days?
I'm like, what are you fucking talking about, dude? And then some people brought up, and I kind of agree with them on this, but I guess I'm just older, but somebody's like, no, Piccolo's the original aura farmer.
Oh yeah, Piccolo, big time.
And I, of course, said Guts, but I was like, all this shit was way before fucking Sword Art Online. It's funny, you're like, that's like the old school. He's like, back when I started watching anime, I'm like, oh man.
Well,
I'm old.
obviously not to take that away from him, but like, yeah,
Sure, yeah,
it's funny.
There's just the wording of like back in my day, this is the
Yeah.
original. I'm like, yeah, that's way too late in the game to be the original. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm sure there's somebody
poor
way before
wording
Piccolo.
choices, right?
Sure.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, they constantly like very intentional, just like moments that were just very well put together. Like whoever was directing and putting it together, like they just did a really good job. So, and then him just toying with him at the end as he's trying to like run away was like pretty cool.
It's satisfying because he's a piece of shit. And you don't like him, and then all of a sudden he's pathetic and running away. And
Well, I like how he bolts, right? And he's trying to fly out that hole. And that whole scene was crazy because like he's slicing him up on the way back down, basically.
yeah, no, that was wild to watch. At first, I'm like, yeah, he's just moving quick. It's all crazy lights or whatever. But then, like when he's hitting him down, and just going at him, and then he slams the ground. I'm like, that was pretty.
I had
fucking
no
cool.
limbs when he hit the ground. I was
Yeah.
like, Jesus.
Yeah, he's just sitting there without limbs. I'm like, ooh, that's fucked up.
And then he goes into panic and starts literally crawling. I was like, It's crazy to see him pitiful now. I don't know. It was awesome. They did,
Which
a good job.
again makes me reiterate my concern in the last review of like, you know, everything is obsolete
Yeah.
now. Jinwoo is the king. That guy was looking for the king. He found him, and
Now, if I'm guessing right, he's gonna have an S rank fucking healer.
yeah. Well, yeah, and that's gonna be crazy. So, like, and if you know, don't tell us, please.
Yeah, don't.
But what's the next? What's the next challenge?
Right.
Because whatever that is, nobody's gonna be able to handle it except for Jinwoo. So it really will be solo leveling at that point.
Yeah, there's
Like,
gonna
it's
have to
just
be a
gonna
dynamic change, or the show's got to end soon.
It's gonna be solo Jinwoo here soon, unless we find like, you know, that American S rank is like super powerful, or like
Or
his
someone else
dad,
can level, right?
other people gets introduced, or like I was saying in the last review, maybe they find a way to start leveling people. They hack the system. I don't know.
Yeah.
But and if you know, please don't tell us.
Yeah, no.
I'm just reiterating that I don't want to know. But we're speculating here. It's really
Yeah,
interesting.
and if you know, you can have fun listening to us.
Yeah, think in your head like, oh, you're wrong, or oh, there's on to something. Just don't tell us. But something is going to have to change, something big, because we are at the end of progression for everybody. Like I was thinking about, if all the S ranks die on this island, everyone's fucked, because you can't make more S ranks. You got to wait for them.
Yeah, they have to be born or awoken.
You have to find them, basically.
Yeah.
So like you can't. It's not like replenishing your army. You better start investing in like weapons that are S rank, like
Equipment. Yeah.
equipment. I don't know, because like they don't level. So yeah, where we're at, which is a lot of fun to watch, has me asking a lot of questions. But the whole show has had me asking a lot of questions, which is good. It's not mindless. So
Yeah. No, for sure, and that's a concern with a lot of like action shows, right? They're usually simple,
just fun.
which is fine. I love a good action anime, but this one does make you think a little, which I like.
Yeah. I'm constantly guessing, which is nice. I can't just fully predict it. Although if you nail the healer thing, which I think you're going to be right, that's a good guess, because I didn't get anything from that.
Instantly when we turned back, I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, I didn't think about it. And I was like, no, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
That sounds like something that's going to have to happen, because then after that, we had already talked many reviews ago that people might start viewing Jinwoo as like a threat. And if people on TV see him basically take somebody and put him into his army, that might look kind of bad, because
well, super taboo.
well,
right?
it's beyond taboo though, because he
Yeah.
becomes a threat.
Yeah.
What would stop him from killing all the S ranks and creating an army out of them? Like,
True.
There's a bunch of questions to
How do
be.
you stay comfortable around someone like that?
Yeah, because no one's as powerful as him, and now he can just get more powerful and create an even more powerful army. And anyone who becomes like, powerful, he could kill, just like that fucking ant, and
Yeah.
put him in his army. So yeah, that's gonna raise a lot of questions probably. And if it doesn't, it should. So
Definitely. I mean, that's pretty much all I got. I'm just like, I would just sit here and gush over and over again. They did a good job. It was a good episode.
yeah, the whole episode was just aura. Yeah, I liked the episode a lot. It was great. It was what I was hoping for. A big, awesome fight. It was cool to see his army in action. I liked that everybody got to see that because they weren't really aware of what he was capable of. Also wondering how he got there. Everyone's like, "How the hell did he get there?" And that one dude, I forgot, the old guy who broke the chair when he went nuts. He's like, "That doesn't matter right now. Just let him cook," basically. So yeah, it's funny that he has been revealed to be powerful, and then there's still a lot of stuff they don't know. Even during the fight, they're like, "Is he really a mage? Why is he in the ant's face?" And he's just trading blows with this dude, and they're like, "I don't think he's a mage." And the guy's like, "I don't even know anymore, dude. It doesn't even matter."
He's basically like, this is the rule book.
Yeah, nothing makes sense anymore. So just let it happen.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun to kind of watch. Also, them finally getting the stream going, and everybody's watching that Jinwoo's there. Everybody saw this battle.
Wow.
That's going to change a lot of perspective. Well, yeah, I don't know if they saw it or not, because even the S ranks didn't. Yeah, that's a good point. They saw that something happened there. They saw the ants and that major ant fucking die. So yeah, that's also going to be really interesting to see what the reaction to that is. And then yeah, the fight itself was awesome. The animation was really good. Started off already good. I thought when they're punching each other, it looked really good. But yeah, you're right. Like once he started transforming, I was like, oh, we just leveled up a bit. We solo leveled the animation
Mid episode.
and then finally him pulling out the weapons. I was like, all right, here we go. Because most time when he fights stuff, he's unless it's super weak, he'll pull a weapon and kill it quickly. And I'm like, get rid of this dude fucking fast. But that wouldn't be as dramatic. So why would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the fight was really cool, super satisfying. I was surprised to see that he killed it in one episode. But that's fine because the fight was worth it. I also liked watching his army at another point, just like towards the end, just obliterate all the fucking ants.
On the side of the mountain.
Yeah, and yeah, really curious to see if you're correct about the healer. I think you will be. That seems like the best thing you could do. There is a healer right there. They don't have to go anywhere. So, but I do think it's going to cause concern. And yeah, can't wait for the next episode. I believe it's the last one.
It is, yeah.
So that's going to suck. But we'll watch it, and hopefully it will give us some insight on where things are going to go in terms of like what to expect. And
yeah, it was titled On to the Next Target. So
yeah, exactly. So we'll see. Looking forward to it though, and yeah, really cool episode. Really good season so far.
Definitely.
And it's only one episode left. So yeah, that's all I got. So you got anything else?
Nope.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think about this episode. What were some of the major highlights for you? What did you think of the battle that happened? Any details that we didn't talk about? Let us know in the comments if you want to talk about it. And where do you think things are going? Unless you know, please don't tell us. We have not read the manhwa. We want to go in as blind as possible. So far we've been able to do that. So that's great. And yeah, of course, we'll take recommendations for things to watch next season. We are planning on watching Lazarus, which I'm really excited to watch. And we are probably going to watch Shogun because we never watched that when it came out originally. But if you have any recommendations, we will consider it. Can't guarantee we'll watch it. We have jobs and lives and stuff. But maybe there's something we haven't thought of to watch that you have an idea of. Let us know in the comments below. But yeah, that's good for this review. Stay tuned. We are going to be finishing out Sakamoto Days and doing a season review of that. So if you are watching Sakamoto Days or thinking about watching Sakamoto Days, I guess don't watch the spoiler review. But it'll be there when you watch it. But yeah, until then, I've been Seth, this has been Chevy, and we will talk to you guys later.